Welcome to Watch Yanqing Node News, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is where we sift through a whole stack of fascinating sources, pull out those golden nuggets of knowledge, and basically give you a shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today, you're definitely in for a treat. We are plunging headfirst into a technological revolution that's quietly unfolding right now at Netflix. You might have caught whispers, maybe seen a headline, but we're getting into the real nitty-gritty of how generative AI, GenAI, is fundamentally transforming their content. And we're focusing specifically on the Argentine sci-fi series, Eternauta.
That's right. And this isn't just, rumor or speculation. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos himself confirmed it.
Yeah.
In their July 2025 earnings call, actually, he said Eternauta is their very first original production to feature GenAI in the final broadcast version. So this isn't just some technical footnote somewhere. It's genuinely a pivotal moment. It really showcases the transformative potential of GenAI in modern film and TV production. It's a landmark, really.
And because we know you're smart, you're technically astute, probably insanely curious, we're going way beyond the headlines. Our mission today: unpack the specific cutting-edge technologies Netflix is leveraging here. We want to look at the astonishing results they're already seeing, and importantly, what this all means for the future of entertainment, for creators, and, well, for you, the viewer. Get ready for some serious aha moments. We'll try to keep it entertaining, maybe with just enough humor to keep you hooked. Okay, let's unpack this then. When we talk about GenAI and Eternauta, the real headline grabber wasn't just the story itself, but how they actually made parts of it. Let's start with arguably the most striking application of GenAI here. There's a specific sequence. It involves an AI-generated building collapse in Buenos Aires. Now, for many, that might immediately bring up questions, right? But the role of human VFX artists. How exactly did Netflix use AI here? Was it truly a collaboration, or did the AI just kind of take over?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it gets right to the heart of understanding Netflix's philosophy here. So Sarandos revealed this critical scene was created entirely through generative AI technology.
Yeah.
Entirely. But, and this is the key part, it was a prime example of close collaboration between Netflix's internal teams and Eyeline Studios. Now, Eyeline Studios, that's their production innovation division within Scanline VFX.
Ah, Scanline, right. Netflix bought them a few years back.
Exactly. November 2021, specifically for their expertise in complex photorealistic effects and virtual production. So you see, they've been building towards this capability for years. It's not AI replacing humans out of the blue. It's more like humans directing AI, using it as a very powerful tool.
And the numbers on this specific scene, they're just astonishing. Forget weeks, maybe even months of traditional VFX work and the massive budgets that go with it. This AI-powered scene apparently achieved a 10 times faster production speed. 10 times. And a staggering 90% cost reduction.
90%, yeah.
We're talking like a traditional VFX cost of around $900,000 dropping to approximately $90,000. Now, those numbers are truly jaw-dropping. It sounds like a dream for filmmakers, especially indie ones. But, I can already hear some people wondering, does that kind of efficiency risk a race to the bottom for creative professionals? Or maybe even dilute the nuanced artistry that traditional VFX teams bring?
It's a valid concern, definitely. And it's a conversation the whole industry is grappling with right now. However, Sarandos have really emphasized that Netflix's view, their goal with AI, is not about cutting corners or jobs. It's about making films and series better. That's the line. If we connect this to the bigger picture, what these tools are doing is making really advanced visual effects accessible. Things like, that incredibly detailed digital de-aging tech we've seen.
Oh, yeah, that's always impressive. And expensive.
Exactly. Super expensive. Tech like that was previously only available to huge budget blockbusters. Now it's becoming accessible to a much broader range of creators.
Okay, so democratizing the tech.
Precisely. What this means is that directors and writers who maybe couldn't dream of showing a vast alien invasion or some fantastical creature because the budget just wasn't there, suddenly they can. It's truly democratizing production technology. It empowers more storytellers to bring these ambitious, visually rich visions to life without needing, a superhero movie budget. Think about the surge of diverse, unique sci-fi or fantasy content we might see from creators all over the world who previously just couldn't compete on visuals.
That is an incredible vision for, democratizing filmmaking. Opens up a lot of possibilities. But you might be wondering, okay, how are they actually doing this? What's under the hood? The good news is Netflix isn't keeping all its magic locked away in a vault. They're also leveraging and actually contributing back to some pretty cutting-edge open source AI technologies. So let's dive into some of the specific tools you should know about. This is where it gets wonderfully nerdy.
Okay, yeah, let's get nerdy. What's really fascinating here is Netflix Eyeline Studios' own DifFRelight technology. DifFRelight. It's a diffusion-based framework specifically designed for high-fidelity facial performance relighting.
Facial relighting, so changing the light on an actor's face after filming.
Exactly. Imagine this. You shoot an actor in maybe bland, flat light, perhaps in a studio setting, quickly. And then afterwards, in post-production, you can digitally recreate complex, dynamic lighting, make it look as if they were perfectly lit on a major film set, or maybe even by a specific weird light source in a fantasy world.
Wow, so that gives filmmakers huge flexibility, right?
Shoot fast, light later.
Huge flexibility. That's what it really means for a filmmaker. Freedom to shoot quickly, maybe capture more natural performances, and then refine the lighting later. Opens up incredible efficiency on set and lots of creative control in post.
So it's not just like turning up the brightness, it sounds like it captures every little detail. Oh, absolutely. It precisely manipulates the lighting, generates really complex illumination effects on the actor's face, and it preserves incredibly subtle details, skin texture, hair, even things like eye reflections. It can reproduce that subtle glow of light through the skin that's called subsurface scattering.
Right, that makes skin look real.
Exactly. And self-shadowing, translucency. It even integrates with dynamic 3D Gaussian splatting for quality consistency across the board. So in Eternauta, it was apparently crucial for relighting facial performances, enhancing realism, enhancing detail, especially in those visually demanding sci-fi scenes. It helped them achieve really high-end visual effects, even working with maybe a tighter budget than a Hollywood blockbuster. It's like having a digital lighting director who never sleeps and never complains about setting up another light.
Huh. Though I bet they'd still complain about the virtual coffee machine. Okay, that DifFRelight sounds amazing. But it also raises an important question you mentioned. 3D Gaussian splatting. How do they create those incredibly detailed 3D environments from video? Especially for something complex, like a ruined Buenos Aires after the collapse scene. That sounds like a nightmare to build traditionally, piece by piece. So enter 3D Gaussian splatting, or 3DGS. The description is an explicit 3D representation technology for real-time radiance field rendering.
Okay, that sounds like something straight out of a futuristic textbook. What does it actually do?
You've pretty much hit on it. Think of it as a revolutionary way to capture a real-world scene. You use many photos or video footage taken from different angles, and then you can almost instantly turn that into a high-fidelity 3D model, one that can be viewed and rendered from any angle in real time.
In real time, like a video game engine. Kind of, yeah. It works by generating these 3D Gaussian distribution point clouds from those multi-view images. Then it optimizes parameters like position, rotation, scale for incredibly high-fidelity rendering. What's truly impressive is that it supports that real-time rendering for virtual production workflows. And it can handle long video sequences, not just static shots.
Okay, so for Eternauta.
Right. For Eternauta, it was used for reconstructing complex 3D scenes, like those post-building collapse environments we talked about. It provided real-time, high-quality rendering to support their virtual production workflows. So instead of painstakingly modeling every single piece of rubble by hand,
Which would take forever.
They could reconstruct it with shocking realism and accuracy directly from source video or photos. It allows for massive scale and detail that would be practically impossible otherwise, or incredibly expensive.
Okay, that's the environment. Then there's Go With The Flow. Another one from Eyeline Studios, released January 2025. This sounds like an animator's dream come true, allowing precise control of camera movement, object movement, even transferring motion patterns between different videos. You can literally drag and drop motion in a video. That sounds wild. What's the learning curve like for something that powerful? And what does it mean for directing really dynamic scenes?
It's actually designed to be quite intuitive. It's a really innovative method for controlling motion patterns, specifically in video diffusion models. The principle behind it is quite clever. Instead of giving the AI generic noise to start generating movement from, it uses something called warped noise. You can imagine it as like a pre-programmed intelligent kind of static.
Okay.
This warped noise guides the AI's predictions and allows for precise control over motion patterns. Its core features include drag-and-drop animation control. So yeah, you can literally just drag an object on screen to tell it where you want it to go in the video. Motion transfer functionality too, so you can apply the movement style from one video clip to another. And it does this with real-time processing, all without needing to modify the underlying diffusion model architecture.
That's key, saves retraining time.
Exactly. So in Eternauta, it was used to control object and camera movements in dynamic scenes, allowing for precise adjustments of effects like, say, an avalanche or the building destruction sequence we discussed, enhancing the narrative flow. Imagine directing a scene with the fluidity of maybe editing in a video game, but getting Hollywood-level results.
Hopefully with fewer rage quits, though.
Huh. Yes, hopefully.
All right, so beyond the dazzling visual effects on screen, Netflix is also deeply integrating AI into how you, the viewer, experience their platform, and also how they monetize it, which is always interesting. Now, these tend to be proprietary, closed-source tools, so we don't get all the nitty-gritty code details like with the open-source stuff, but their impact on your everyday Netflix experience is huge. It's kind of like the secret sauce, right? You know it's there, making things work, but you can't quite put your finger on all the ingredients.
Absolutely. First up, a significant user-facing feature, an OpenAI-powered AI search. This launched back in May 2025, and I believe it's currently being tested in Australia and New Zealand. What it does is allow users to search for content using just natural language queries.
Like talking to it.
Pretty much. Even mood-based searches, like I want to watch something funny and upbeat, or maybe give me a sci-fi show that makes me question reality. It offers a conversational sort of ChatGPT-style recommendation experience, moving far beyond just basic keywords to truly understand your intent and preference.
And of course, we have to mention Netflix's legendary machine learning recommendation algorithms, the actual secret sauce that seems to know what you want to watch before you do, often better than you know yourself. Which, while incredibly convenient most of the time, that level of prediction can sometimes feel a bit eerie, can't it? How does Netflix balance that predictive power with user autonomy? And what are the privacy considerations with such detailed user profiles?
That's a critical point, and one Netflix says they take very seriously. They strive for a balance between personalization and user control. The system analyzes, well, everything. Your viewing history, search queries, ratings you give, how long you watch things. All this builds incredibly precise user preference profiles. It uses sophisticated techniques like collaborative filtering that's comparing your viewing habits to users similar to you, content-based filtering, which analyzes the attributes of the shows themselves, and matrix factorization, which identifies hidden patterns in all that user behavior data.
Complex stuff.
Very. But Netflix emphasizes that these profiles are used to enhance your experience, not dictate it. And they do provide pretty robust privacy controls. This whole system was crucial, by the way, in optimizing the series recommendations for Eternauta to drive global audience discovery, basically making sure it reached the right eyeballs around the world, people who might be craving exactly that kind of compelling sci-fi story.
Okay, looking ahead now. To 2026, Netflix plans to launch AI-generated interactive advertising. Now, this isn't just your standard commercial break. It's described as generative AI designed to instantly marry advertiser products with the Netflix show environment. Okay, tell us what that actually looks like, because the implications here sound pretty wild.
Yeah, it's potentially a major innovation in advertising. It aims to make ads feel less intrusive, more contextually relevant. These new ad formats will include things like mid-roll ads, inserted within episodes and films, but using AI to match the scene's aesthetics.
So the ad might look like it belongs in the show.
Kind of, yeah. It might subtly blend with the visual tone of the show you're watching, making it feel less jarring, hopefully.
Well,
there are also pause ads. These appear when you hit pause on playback, and they're designed to reflect the pause content's atmosphere.
Interesting. So I pause Eternauta, maybe I see an ad with a sort of sci-fi vibe.
Exactly. That's the idea. And they'll include interactive elements like call-to-action buttons, maybe second-screen prompts, all personalized based on your interests and that first-party data Netflix has. They're also emphasizing data privacy here, talking about using clean room collaborations.
Clean rooms, right, to keep data separate.
Yeah, ensuring brands can integrate data safely without getting direct access to sensitive user information. It's definitely a completely new paradigm for in-content advertising.
So, with all this incredible technology flying around, from the hyper-efficient VFX to the mind-reading recommendations, the context-aware advertising, what's Netflix's overarching philosophy here? Are we genuinely heading towards AI-generated movies with no human touch? Or is there a bigger play? Because that's the question everyone's quietly whispering, isn't it?
It is, and it's really the core of their stated strategy.
Yeah.
Netflix emphasizes, quite strongly actually, that its GenAI application philosophy centers on enhancing rather than replacing human creativity. Sarandos put it very beautifully, I thought. This is real people doing real work with better tools.
Larger tools, okay.
This human-centric approach seems designed to set an important benchmark for the entire industry, trying to steer the conversation away from, job displacement nightmares and more towards creative empowerment. It's about giving filmmakers superpowers, essentially, not replacing them with robots. It augments the artist, it doesn't erase them. That's the message.
And that really feels like the key takeaway, doesn't it? It's not just about efficiency or cutting costs, although that's obviously part of it. It's about making the content better and, as you said, truly democratizing the creative process. This feels like a fundamental shift, allowing more stories from more diverse creators to reach audiences with a level of polish that was previously unimaginable for many. The creative floodgates are definitely opening, and it seems like Netflix is determined to be right there at the forefront, riding that tidal wave.
It absolutely is a fundamental shift from that AI-generated building collapse scene in El Eternauta to advanced facial relighting with DifFRelight, intelligent motion control like Go with the Flow. Then couple that with the AI-driven personalized recommendations and their plans for future interactive advertising. Netflix is clearly building a very comprehensive GenAI technology ecosystem. This leadership will undoubtedly further consolidate their competitive position in the global streaming market. It's really a redefinition of how content gets created, how it gets distributed, and how we experience it. With AI positioned as this powerful creative amplifier, that still maintains that essential human element needed for compelling storytelling. The vision is clear. Augment the artist, don't replace them.
Wow, what a deep dive that was. From the, frankly, jaw-dropping efficiency of the AI-generated building collapse in El Eternauta, to the nuanced control offered by DifFRelight and Go with the Flow, plus the personalized search and those recommendation algorithms, Netflix is clearly all in on Gen AI. They're not just tinkering around the edges. They seem to be fundamentally reshaping content creation and consumption. It's like they found the magic wand and decided to share it with the creative wizards, so to speak.
It really is. And this whole era of better tools for real people doing real work, it raises a really important question for all of us, I think. As AI increasingly integrates into these creative processes, how will our actual definition of creativity evolve?
Yeah.
And maybe more excitingly, what new artistic possibilities will emerge when human ingenuity is amplified by such powerful technology?
Mm.
What haven't we even thought of yet?
Something definitely to mull over as you next stream something incredible. We really hope this deep dive has given you a whole new perspective on the tech humming away behind your entertainment. Until next time, keep digging into what fascinates you.